Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Primitive Gatherings, and today we are going to do a tutorial on block 3 of our Scandinavian Christmas Quilt-Along. So I've done a little bit of pre-sewing so you don't have to watch me do everything, but there's just a couple units that make up block 3. And it's going to be a little weird because we're going to make flying geese out of 2 half-square triangles. We're going to do a square and a square out of half-square triangles. So just bear with that. That's just what we're doing. We're featuring half-square triangles in this quilt-along because we love how easy and accurate they are. So you're going to go to our website and download your directions for block 3, and they are on there for you to do so. All right, so let's get started. I did save the half-square triangles to do for this block because there's only 12 when you do one block. Now you need to decide whether or not you're going to do the panel, which you probably already have figured it out, but this is the block where you need to decide because blocks 1 and 2 are all the same no matter whether you have the panel or not, and then the last 2 rows are the same. But right now you need to decide, are you going to do 4 blocks? That means you're going to use the panel. Are you going to do 7 blocks? That means you're not using the panel. All right, so I'm doing 7 blocks. I am not doing the panel because guess what? I've already stitched lots of quilts with Dear Santa panel, and I'm good. So I just want a nice big fat row quilt. All right, so I have taken my fabrics and layered them right sides together, put the paper on top because I need 12 half-square triangles, and each square makes 2. So I cut this little configuration just for this one block. You have more. You have sheets of them because you are going to do 4 or 7. So for this tutorial, I only need 12. So I have layered them right sides together, which is very hard with one of these fabrics because it's a white on white or tone on tone or whatever you want to call it, but it's really hard to find out if you have the right side or not. And then I have shortened my stitch length and I have stitched all of the dashed lines here on the paper. And now it's time to trim. So I'm just going to take my ruler here. I'm going to get rid of this one. And I'm just going to place it on all of the solid lines and cut them apart. Now standing probably would be better, but I think I can manage sitting. Just a little more awkward on my wrist. So trim all the way around. It's just a habit of mine. I always do everything. Clean up all the edges first, and then I start cutting them apart. Remove these out of there. Get rid of those for now, and then I'm going to trim these. And when you trim your half-square triangles, make sure you use a nice small ruler. It makes it so much easier than trying to whip around a big ruler. My favorite is this size, this 3 by 7 itty bitty creative grids that I have designed. And the thing about my rulers is there are no solid lines on them, and they have lots more markings for like 1/8 and 3/8 and 5/8 on them, and no half inches, meaning my rulers are 6 by 6, 15 by 15, 5 by 15. There's no 6.5 or any of that kind of stuff. All right, so I have them all cut apart. I'm going to squish them all together. I'm going to slide on over to my mat here, and I'm going to put them all dark side up here, just like this. And I should probably maybe slide over, or are you just going to shoot this angle? Okay, we're going to stay right here. Get my iron, purge it good, and then I'm just going to press these back. I always say open, but technically when you say press open, you're opening a seam, but I'm opening the triangle there, but you're just pressing it back to the dark. I never open my seams on my half-square triangles, especially these 1 inch. They have a 1/8 inch seam allowance. Now, did you notice I did not take the paper off yet? That step will be coming up next. Chain pressing is done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of the paper. So I'm going to flip them upside down, and I'm going to grab it right close to the seam here. You have to pardon my bad nail polish. Tomorrow's nail day. All right, so I'm just going to hold it near the seam there, and I'm going to put my finger in close to that and just pull it right off. So that's what we're going to do for all 12 of these. All right, 12 perfect half square triangles that should measure 1.5 at this point. All right, so here they are. I need my little diagram here. And you're going to follow your instructions and make all of the units that you need to make. And then now I'm going to make 4 flying geese. So I'm going to put 4 of them together like this. Okay, and then the other 4 are going to go together to make a square and a square, just like that. Okay, all right, stitch those together. And you might notice I did not trim my dog ears off. They're 1/8 of an inch right now, so they really don't get in the way. And I'll be pressing these open. And as long as I'm in sewing mode, I'm just going to sneak right to this one as well. Sometimes I don't quite get all the paper off. All right, so let's see how my flying geese are. That one's not perfect. It's okay. This one's a little better. I'm just giving a little press and just seeing what they look like. Two out of 4. All right, I'm going to press these open. And then I have one more seam on these 2. So finger press them. These look better. All right, so the square in the square center is going to go these 2 together. And the hard, like I said, the hardest part about this block is going to be, if you're using the same fabrics I am, is this keeping this stripe tone on tone print to the right side. All right, oh, it looks pretty good. I'll press this one open. Okay, so have my flying geese units. I'm just going to trim a dog ear off here and there. Mine didn't cut very well. Probably hold the scissors the right direction. See, perfect.
And you could do this with a rotary cutter and a ruler as well to make sure that this is the right size that the directions tell you it should be. Okay. Scoot all that away. Bring this back over. See what I got. I sewed that one. I got these units. So I'm going to sew one of these units here. I have it left right there. So I have one of those to sew. And then I have this 6 unit here I need to sew. And then we can work with the other units. So square to square first. While I'm at it, I'm just going to just keep sewing these two together. And Alicia and I have designed this to have all of the printy fabrics in the middle, and on the outside are all the backgrounds, which is porcelain. Press this one open, and I'm just going to give it a finger press. Lay it next to the neck, make sure it's in the right spot. Oh, let's see, we're gonna go that way. I don't think it matters how those go. If you turn them, it's no big deal. So that one's done. And then these, we're all going to press these open as well. Make sure I sewed them all right sides up. Yes. Okay. So now it goes background to the outside, stripe to the inside, background to the outside. Can't be making a boo-boo like I did last block. All right, 2 more seams to press open. All right, now we have all 4 sides done. So that's this. Okay, middle is finished, so that's going to go in there. And you can decide how you want to put this together, but I guess when you sew all 3 of these together, we have to put this center together as one piece, so I have to keep that in mind. All right, so now I have to sew a flying geese to these 4 units here. So on the bottom of each one of these, I am going to do the square there, okay? You could press these to the cream, or we could press them open. So because I've been pressing open, I'm just going to keep pressing open. Flying geese pointing up or out, however you want to say that. Okay, let's see how it's coming together nicely. I love it. All right. So it looks like, see, I have to sew this together so these can go onto those. This will just go onto there, and then it'll be a simple together from there. And the last one on. Okay. We're going to keep pressing open. All right, now I have to get out a few pins on this one. When they're short little units, you can get by without pinning, but I don't trust myself on these bigger ones. And it's best to pin every one of those little intersections that need to match up. That pin was like a nail. Sometimes I just get a hodgepodge of different, like a corsage pin in the pin cushion here. All right. Okay, we're going to press the look and see how they look. Looks pretty good. This is a strip stick helping keeping these seams without messing up its neighbors. Gonna have to replenish my pins here. These are looking pretty bent and raggedy. I think they get used for all kinds of things, not just sewing. Like pinning stuff on the bulletin board. we're getting down there. What did I press those open? I just wanted to make sure. Sometimes I change my mind and I will press to the fabric without the piecing. These are 10-inch blocks, I believe. Okay, these are going to go on. A couple more sections to pin. Remember to keep the one with the stripe in the inside. Outside is all of the background. It's really nice when they all line up good. Makes it a lot easier. Getting bigger. Got a string in one of these. Two more seams. Okay. Stripe, so all the stripes are all in the middle. And hopefully facing the right direction. All right, last seam. So here is our block, and I believe they are, yep, 10.5 inches. And then now I'm just going to clean up my edges a little bit. All right, there we go. This is a completed block number 3 of our Scandinavian Christmas. And now you have to make 3 or 6 more. All right, join us next time for block 4 of our Scandinavian Quilt-Along.